What's the size of your account? Yes. You see the difference why I tell you you should follow rules very strictly? Because you will blow up your account very fast. Very strictly. Because you will blow up your account very fast. Okay, let's go. Good afternoon, traders. We're live on YouTube now. Not a lot of people in the room. I don't know what happened to them, so we're going to show you this account very fast. I'm going to set a new standard now for everyone. All the Forex trainers and traders and signal sellers out there will be having a new standard to go with. Show us a live account. And better yet, if that account is about $500,000. By the way, this is a live account for someone who was trying to put a message, a comment out on my YouTube saying that this is well, he was saying this is a demo account. It is a live account. There is nothing demo here, right? So where we are, the Euro trade, as you can see, was closed this morning. That's about slightly above 0.5% of my account, or about 0.5%, and I'm in the buy now, right? I'm in this buy now. I'll show you the trade, why they buy, why they close, why they buy. I closed the pound Swiss for a loss. That's about 2%. I will show you where I close it, slightly above 2%. I'll show, and I'm in the silver trade, and it's in the drawdown. Silver drawdown, just ignore. I'm never going to close silver for losses, right? So just ignore the silver trade. Somebody please tell MK that you can hear me, that it's his side. Somebody post a message to him, let him know that it's his side, right? So silver trades are never closing. So I already made that, I think, about a year ago. When I'm trading silver at this level, the stop is at 0. Right? And I have the confidence to deal with that, right? So don't you worry about that. So let me show you the trades now, what the trades are actually, right? So let's go 1 second. Let me just put this back in the right spot there. So Euro trade, we took the buy on the breakout here, right? By rule, you should close the trade here. That is by rule. Remember, we spoke about that. By rule, we break that low, you should close the trade. It dropped, I watch it come back here, and I closed it right here. Right? I could have closed it right here again, but I decided I'm going to see if they're going to break out there. And there's reason for that. Not that we're going to discuss those reasons here. There's reason they could have broken out of that structure because we're at the bottom of a 4-hour structure. Let me just help you guys a little more, right? So that you will figure out what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking. If they're going to break out for one more up, this is the place where they're going to do it, right? This is where they're going to do it if they're going to go one more up. So after they broke the structure to the downside and we've got a sell set up, I took the sell. I'm in the sell and the sell is positive. So again, what are they going to do if they break? They're going to retest the low, which means I'm going to watch them when they come here. If they break through this structure, I will stay with that trade. Remember the very first sell we took in the Euro. Let me just remind you guys. The very first sell we took in the Euro was here. That was our very first sell, which we closed here. Right, that was profit booked, right? So this sell is a short-term sell for a break-even trade, which means if this does not break out of this, I'll just put it to +1 and leave it. Right? I don't care if that goes. This is not a profit I'm looking for. But if it is going to break this structure, why I'm staying with this one? Because the trade to the downside, if this stays, if I stay with that thing and it breaks that structure, I'm looking for a trade that is going to go like this. Good. I hope that is clear to everybody. Again, let me repeat. Don't try to repeat what I do. Don't copy the trades I do. Don't trade without stops. Don't try to repeat what I do. The level of experience and knowledge that I have on wave analysis, you don't have it. None of you in here have it. And I doubt a lot of people out there have it. I'm pretty sure about this. I'm very, very confident about this. I know what I'm doing, and I'm warning you not to repeat that. I show you how I can get out of trades, even when they're negative. They're always going to come back. You always have to understand the structure. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take 2 minutes and ask you a question. I should actually put a poll out on that. I know it's a webinar. If you give me 3 minutes in the poll, I'll show you. Or let's just make it very simple. How many of you have had this case where you think if you put a stop, the market is going to take your stop and then continue to go in that direction? Give me a yes if you think that happens to you. And you actually truly believe that they're hunting your stops. There is even that terminology out there, hunting stop. How many of you have had that case where you think as soon as you put the stop, the market is going for your stop and then it's going to continue to go in the direction you want? Just put it, I'll explain to you why that is so. Give me a yes if that is you. If that has happened to you, and that I want to see whether that was a thought process. Have you ever thought that is happening to you? So I can see only about 20 people reacted, right? So, and most of them are wise. So I will go with what reacted. One person said no, which means the majority, 2% said no. The majority of you are yes. And this is why. Let me explain a simple thing. The market is not out for your stops. Nobody cares a heck where your stop is. The only people who know where your stop is your broker. Nobody else knows. The bank does not see your stop literally, because the broker first thing never give your bank your trade. Your trade stops with the broker. So the only person who knows, and the broker, most times brokers cannot move the market. So they can't hunt your stops. That's something you're told by people who want to sell you crap. Exactly. People who want to sell you crap tell you that crazy stuff. The reason you get into that is because this is what the market does. So most times, most of you are getting it wrong. You're getting into the trade here and you're putting a stop here. They come, they hunt your stop and they go. When you reach here, you said, oh, now they're going down. So I will sell here and I'll put a stop here and they'll get your stop and come now. So you will see them take your stop and you will see them come back and you start to say, oh my God, if only I'd kept it. It doesn't work like that, guys. Nobody's hunting your stop. You're just entering and exiting the market at the wrong place. And when you do enter wrong, you really don't know what to do. You don't understand what the market is going to do next. So you start to panic and you end up doing the wrong things because you have no clue. It's like if I take you and put you in the center of any big park, let's say it's a huge park, and you don't know the park, and you're in the middle, somebody dropped you in the middle and said, find your way out. Most people will panic because they don't know how to get out of that. If you know the park, it's an easy thing. You find the closest track to the direction you want to go, and that's it, you walk out. It becomes that simple. The analogy I'm trying to make is that trading has to be done based on knowledge. Most people are trading out of ignorance. Even if you're trading pin bar, you're trading out of ignorance of the structure of the chart. You know what your pin bar strategy is, which means wait for the pin bar, wait for it to do this, sell here, put the stop there, put an entry there. But if the market doesn't do that, you pretty much have no idea what it's going to do because you don't know how the market behaves. And that is why wave analysis is the only way for you to understand market structure. There is no other way right now how to understand market structure. There simply isn't. This is the only methodology that teaches you that. So when you look at market structure, the reason we started to sell the euro is because we said they could break this structure. And that is the reason we are still selling it. Why did we buy it here? Well, we thought that was going to be a bigger correction, knowing how market makes bigger correction. That correction didn't happen. Well, okay, we're wrong about that. They're not making a bigger correction. They're just going to drop. So you wait for them to pull back, because if they're going to make small corrections, they will make a correction back to that area. And that gives you an opportunity to come out for 0.5% loss rather than more. And now you're back in the sell. Now, if this drops out there, great. If it doesn't drop out, I'll get out and I'll be looking for a buy again. If I see that this has the potential to go up once more, I will be in the buy again, which means I'll come out of the sell, because I know what they're doing here. At least I know how to read what they're doing there, how to understand what is going on there, right? So let them do what they do. As long as I can figure out what's going on, what that structure is, how it's going to behave, what each piece of that structure is doing, then you have an advantage in the market. That's your advantage. It's not about a pin bar or candlestick. It's about the entire structure. That's it. So we're in the sell. Pong. Some of my traders took this sell. If they took that sell, they will wait to get out for break even just now, because it's going to come back here. Again, if this is going to go up, let's say you got, because you're supposed, by our rule, you can put that entry order. So if you get tagged in that one, all you have to do now is wait for it to come back to get out of the trade if you don't like it, or this trade is still going to go. So what are the chances you might not like the trade? Well, if this starts to make a flag here, great. You will have about 10 hours to make a decision to get out of that trade and look for the buy. So when I tell you you can sleep on these trades and wake up back and trade them, that's what I mean. If you understand that this thing is really going to take off like that, It's going to take off from the bottom, not from the middle. This is not a bottom right now. So now you can wait and see, well, let's see if I get break even. Right now, if I was in that trade, I would try to close it for break even. I don't like it anymore. Because based on the trade you enter, it's not doing that. Right? What is it doing? Why do I think this is going to go down from there? Why do we think it could go down? Well, we are looking at the bigger structure, and the bigger structure tells us there's a very, very good chance this pattern is completed. There's a very high probability for this pattern to be completed and for this to go down. So all you have to do now is have some more patience and wait. 1 second, guys. Let me just take that off. Yeah. That's all you have to do. You don't panic, you don't run, you just wait very calm. That little trade you see in there, if they get break even on it, or even if they take a very, very small loss, nothing is wrong with that. That's part of trading. So right now, this is all you get. I mean, if you're risking 1% there, you're pretty much 0.001% you're losing. You don't have to worry about that. Aussie. Sideways move. I told you it's a sideways move and it's going to take a longer time. All of you go back, check. It's going to probably take a longer time, but it's a nice trade to the upside. So we're coming downwards in a correction. Can this correction actually do this and then go back up? Of course. It does that very often, and I'm going to show you that in silver right now. And I'm going to show you a chart where I was consulting one of the reasons why I got into Dubai was I was consulting one of these companies in Dubai that were doing that, and they ignored me when I told them to hold the trade because it's going to go back up, and they lost quite a lot. So I'll show you. They didn't lose money; they lost profit. They should have made. I think they took it out to almost a break even with maybe a slight loss. I'll show you guys that trade. New Zealand. It's going down, right? It's going down basically. But do we know that this is going to retest the low? We told you about this pattern, and we said we'd like it to retest the low. We don't know if it's going to do, but if you get a sell setup, take it. When they break that structure, exit your trade and look for the upside, right? Right now, I would not trade New Zealand because there isn't any high probability setup, right? What are we looking for? Short term, if it goes down, you can sell, but be careful because the bigger trade might be upside, just like in New Zealand, Aussie, bigger trade will be upside. Short term, it's in consolidation. You shouldn't be even worried about it. The bigger trade is to the upside. Don't miss the upside. I think this week we might get it, or next week we might get it. It's going to be a very big trade. Keep your eyes on it. And remember the Aussie, New Zealand. New Zealand could go down, Aussie could go up. Watch this. This is going down. Let's see if it's going to continue to go. Yen. Yen, like I said, you're going to get an up move on yen, but first you need it to come back one impulse down within a running flat structure. So if this breaks here, take one trade here, get out of the trade and look for upside. If it continues to go, you can look for buy setups. Right, the best buy setup would be above the top, but if you take the buy setup, one impulse, take out the profit because this is going to happen. I'm not going to try to convince you unless you're the first time watching my video, then go and look at my other video. It is going to happen. And then you will know why, right? So Swiss was a buy. If you get this trade and you take it, it's a good one. That was a buy call we made this morning. If you take that trade, it's going to go. Just be careful, move it to break even now. If you took the trade, move it to break even because at any one time, this will start to correct itself. And you don't want to fall into that daily correction. The entire daily structure will correct itself. It's in an uptrend. We're at the top of a daily move. So if you take any 60-minute trade, you have to be very careful because this could go into deep correction before they're going to continue to go. How long? We don't know. So that is why you take the trade, but you try to manage the trade to break even in case it's not going to continue to go. CAD is correcting to the upside for a down move that you don't want to miss. How high can CAD correct? Well, pretty high because we are in this CAD buy and my traders, and we can expect this. When it breaks that top, you put it to break even because they're either going to do this and go down or they're going to continue to do this and then break. I'm more inclined to believe they're going to continue to go sideways, but just in case if they take off, that is a trade call we make in the room this morning for a buy here. That's an entry order for a buy. So if my traders in the trade, good for you. When it breaks the top, remember the rule, put it to break even. Let's go. Silver. And this is where everybody is panicking. I have no idea why you guys are panicking. What we were looking for in silver, let me just go back. You can go back and actually look at the video. We look for one. We thought this is making a correction. It's going to go back up there and then come down and then go. Well, we never got this piece. So what happened? That means pattern doesn't work? No, that means you look for where one of those impulses didn't break the top, but turned out to be some kind of a contracting flat. I think we told you, we identify this pattern as a contracting flat because the next up wave that is supposed to go break the top, actually this was the one we were looking for, didn't break the top. So we thought they were going to make a move and then go back. You will always look for them to come and break the top. These contracting flats are rare. They're not that common. You don't find them so commonly, right? They do exist, but you don't find them. And most of the time when you do get a contracting flat, they make a fast drop and then they turn to the upside. Will this go up? Well, I'm pretty sure it's going to go up. So I'm not worried about this and I'm not going to close it. I'm not also selling it. For me to sell this, it has to make a deep correction like this, which means if it makes a correction like this, and I'm pretty sure that that correction is going to go down, well, yes, I will close my trade here and then I'll go down. That means closing my trade will break even. Remember, we were buying at those bottoms there, right? So that means closing my trade will break even and then I will go for this trade. Not until I see that structure am I going to interfere with my trade. There is no reason to interfere with the trade if you don't have a structural change. The only way you can know this is if you understand what is a structural change. I think most of the newbies are saying, what the hell is he saying by structural change? Because you have no clue what is a structural change. You don't know what needs to happen for you to look at a structure that is going to go the opposite direction. That's it. You don't, unless you really learn this stuff and you know how to do it. We told you this is going to come down because we have already had a contracting flat in here. This one already had the contracting flat. So I told you if you want to take this sell, they have to break this low. And if they come to break this low, you're lucky. They don't have to break this low to complete that structure. But if they do break it, you're lucky. That's luck when you're on the right side of the trade. What we're watching is that this pattern is an incomplete pattern, which means at some point, if they break this low, they're going to go back up and they're going to come back down and then they're going to go. So there are going to be a number of up and downs in here to complete every part of each subwaves. Euro-Aus. Euro-Aus made a move down, and I think very likely we're going to be in a correction here for more downside. So if you get a buy setup here with a correction in there, that would be a good trade. Wait for a buy setup. There isn't any sell setup right now, but there's a nice buy setup going on right here on the 1 hour. You look at that, right? You want it to come back. You want this to come back here. And then go, that would be a perfect buy setup if you get it. Right, that would be perfect. You could get a number of different set of buy setups, but that would be the perfect one. Euro New Zealand, stay out of it. It's also consolidating to the upside, but it's not as nice as the Euro, so probably stay out of this. Euro CAD, it broke. If you took the sell, you got a break-even trade. I would take that as a break-even. We're not breaking the structure. So there's a good chance we might see one more upside here. There's a very good chance you might see one more upside, which is why I'm very keen on the, I'm very careful of what the euro trade is, the euro dollar. Because if you get a correction here now on this piece, see that impulse going there? If you get a correction here, that becomes a buy. Or in this impulse, and if I get a very nice correction, I'll be buying. Right, this one, this very one going up. I needed to make a correction like this. And then I'll be looking for a buy. Otherwise, I'm staying out of it. Could that go down some more? Yes, but very unlikely based on the pattern we have. Right, that would be very, very unlikely. Euro Swiss, they didn't break out. They came down. As remember, we told you, watch this pattern here to break. It dropped here, started to go back up. You can exit the trade, and you're still looking for that one more down before it goes back up. So this is a likely trade you could get today or tomorrow or very close before they go. So you can look for a very similar structure, look for a sell setup, and then look for the upside. Euro yen. Well, euro yen is consolidating here. So the question is it going to go down first or is it going to go up first? I'm thinking more of the downside here first. So there's an entry ordered for a sell. If the buy setup appears, if we get a good buy setup, I don't know, maybe we could consider it. Which means if they don't break very far down, they just break to above this level, start to go back up, you get a break even in the sell, and then you look for the buy. the reason we're looking for the sell is because I don't think this is all the correction. I think that is only part of the correction, and that we are making a bigger correction here. And we might come back like this, go here, and then go. So I think this correction will be a more long drawn out time-wise. If I'm wrong about that, well, we will be willing to go with the uptrend, right? That would become the uptrend because we've got a sharp impulse and a sideways. Excuse me, sorry. The up trade, this one is not going up as aggressive. That's one. And the second thing, 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. And another thing we're looking for is that the correction is too small. So we would like to see some more correction before it goes. Europound, you're getting a sell setup. If you get a full sell setup here, this would be a good trade for a sell with a very tight stop above there. If they break that, you definitely don't want to be in the trade. Pong Yen. Pong Yen is making a correction for upside. I think we could start to look for a buy setup here. There isn't a setup as yet. It's just make one move up. But if they give you a small flag there, that becomes a very, very good buy setup. Pong Cat, same here. We dropped. The only thing about a Pong Cat here you have to be careful with is that this sharp move up needs to consolidate here before you get into any buy, because I've seen sharp moves come down, go back, come down, and just take off to the downside. Which means it will not be an up, but a down move, a possible sell setup, right? So watch this low here for a possible sell setup. Take that out. You can watch for a possible sell setup. Pound New Zealand. Put this, and if they consolidate there, that becomes a sell for us. See? This becomes a sell setup. So that might be a very nice trade. Put it in the 4 hours so you can see what we're looking for. We broke that top, so if this starts to come down, we're probably either going to have another consolidation and then go, or we're going to be dropping out of that pattern. Which of the two, I have no idea right now, because we're in a consolidation and you never know when that consolidation is over. You only trade the pieces with the intention that this down move is ready to go. So every time you get a sell setup, you will take it, because you don't know that this correction is not over. This is your impulse, this is your correction. They can continue to do this for a long time. But if every time you get a sell from there, you take it, one of these sells are going to break down. So I like this sell. If the sell setup plays out the way I want it to, which means if we get that breakthrough, I'm going to take the sell. All right, this is a very nice sell that I like. This one also is giving you the mere fact that they break out of this doesn't mean anything. You can take that out. You notice that this is going sideways here. That means we could possibly get a sell setup. And that sell setup should bring you back to about this level. Right? And then we'll see what happens from there. Take that out. Euro Swiss, the one I closed. So let me explain again to everybody how this thing works. If this goes up and you panic and you close it here, you have no idea what you're doing. And that was where everybody was starting to panic. Oh my God, look at that loss. What you're going to do? Nothing. Just wait. It was 4%. Wait, you probably close it for 2%. If you wait for it to come back 50%. I could have closed it here this morning for less than 2%. But there was no reason to close it there this morning. Right? There was no structural reason to close it. The structural reason came when they make this low and they broke that top. Then I decided, okay, this is where you need to close it. Because now two things could happen. They could make a flag here and I'm going back up totally. I'd look for a buy setup. Or if they start to drop here, go back there, then I'm looking for a longer term sell setup. This would give me real big confidence. So what is going to happen to do? They will have to come down here very slowly, go back up there, drop below these points, and then I'm in that long-term sell. In short, if they make a correction there, I'm selling this again long-term, very, very long-term. Because once they break that, they're going to go big time downside. If that sell confirms, it's really big time downside. If that sell confirms, I'm looking for this to do this. Put it in the weekly. This is what I'm looking for. If they confirm that sell from there, we are coming to retest this low. That is the trade I'm looking for. So I'm not going to miss that trade. See, If they confirm that that is a running flat by showing me structurally what I'm looking for a sell setup, I would be in that zone. We know that a few of the pound pairs have sell setups. One has a buy setup. So let's see. All right, the idea is let's see which one works. Right? So watch this trade. You really have to understand structure, guys. Never be scared. People who trade out of fear are trading out of ignorance. If you trade out of knowledge, you're not. Anybody who is knowledgeable in their field do not have fear in their work. Right? Alpinists, people who climb Everest and all, they're not climbing out of fear. If they're scared while they're climbing, they would probably die halfway or fall on, and many times before. They train themselves to do it so they can do it with confidence. They understand all the difficulties and they understand what they're doing. Every professional understands what his job demands of him. He knows all the weak points, the strong points. He knows what to look for, what not to look for. You want to be a trader? Become a professional trader. Stop trading nonsense. Get the right knowledge and become a professional trader. That's it. It's that simple. Knowledge, get the right knowledge, not the right strategy. Get the right knowledge. As one guy wrote, you just need 3 good strategies. Well, how the hell are you going to get 3 good strategies if you're ignorant of everything else? Very simple question I wanted to ask, but I don't want to ask him there because I'm wasting my time. But it's that simple. How would you get 3 good strategies if your knowledge of the market is 0? How do you get 3 good strategies? You can never get 3 good strategies if you know nothing of how the market behaves. You got 3 strategies that you bought for $500, but they're no good. And to you, they're worse. They're dangerous because you're trying to do something, use something that you have no knowledge how to use. It's like giving a kid a hammer. When they give you a strategy and said, if this happened, do this, it's like giving a kid a hammer. Sooner or later, there will be no fingernails. Learn to trade. Let's go. Watch this. It could be a very good sell setup or a very nice buy setup to retest the top. Aussie yen. Good. If it breaks the top here, that's a buy. Very likely Aussie is correcting this. It's correcting it very slow, so they would probably do this and then take off. Remember, all the Aussie trades look upside. I want you to pay attention. Let me go back through them. I'll go through all the Aussie trades for you guys now. So let's start with Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, correction for upside. Can this correct? By the way, if you're one of the guys in here, when this thing dropped like this, you start to panic and said, oh my God, look, it's dropping. He said it's going to go up. Please take a deep breath, look in the mirror and say, I'm not a trader. I should stop trading because it's going to do that and then go straight up. I promise you I'll show you one of that. So let me show you that situation. It's on this trade. So I'll have to go back to when that was happening. Let me see if I can go back and show you. It was on the dollar yen pair. Dollar yen, dollar, not this, way back. That was way back. I probably have to go to the 4-hour to find it to show you. Let's go way back. No, sorry, not dollar yen. That will have to be the euro yen, I think. Let me go to the euro yen. I remember the structure. So when I see it, I'll let you know. But this one, yeah, this is the structure. So this was the trade, right? This was going sideways. I want you to take a good look of it. This was going sideways. See that? And the same thing we were doing. We were buying at the lows. We were buying at the lows. We were buying at the lows. So we actually, the last trade we bought, we closed this, we closed it. The last trade we bought was here. Pay attention, we bought it there. It came up, we were in very good profit. So they said, you know, I said, don't take profit because we're looking for that move to go up there, to come to the top here. Right? That's the move we were doing. And it started to come down. It started to come down. At this place, those people were starting to panic. This was a big hedge fund. I was just consulting them. And they were like panicking. They called me like, what should I do? What should I do? Don't do anything. Even if it breaks this low, it's going to go back up and it's going to go back really fast. So if we take off the trade, we might not be able to get in because we wouldn't get the setup we need to get in. And they were like, no, this is not right. This thing is going back. Look how much we had here because it was a big sum. And they were like, look how much we had. And right at the bottom here, when it broke the low, I think somewhere here, they closed the trade. So they took the small loss and they were like, okay, thank God we took the small loss. They probably went and prayed that they got off for a small loss and watch it go down some more. While it was going down here, I think they were pretty happy that they made the right decision until they see this happen. And when that happened, that was when I called them to say, how are we doing in the trade? They said, no, we closed it. I said, what do you mean you closed it? My advice was you don't close it. You leave the trade because this is a correction. And that correction will go up. That is what the market does every time. This move down, if this move down is going to be the end of the structure to go down, then we bought here, we bought there, so they will have to make a correction like this. We would have closed the trade and then look for the sell. That is what it would have done if it was going to go down. They were like, no, man, the market was going down. We didn't want to take the risk. I said, okay, that's it. That's the end of our conversation. I'm not interested in telling you what to do anymore or what I do, because you do what you want to do. And I'll tell you what the market is going to do, because the market is going to go up. And you can imagine the amount of money they would have made on this trade here. Not only would they made a lot there, I would have not let them close it, because we would have been looking for one of this to go up. So if you don't know what market is doing, you panic. If you know what market is doing, you don't panic. Yeah, the problem is you can't enter the trade again because you might not get a good entry point. Right? You just wouldn't get a good entry. And the reason I didn't think about entering is I thought they were still in the trade until they told me to close it. Right? So you sometimes don't get the good entry point again. That's all. It's gone without you. Silver, if silver takes off, it could take off so fast that you will never get a chance to get in silver again. Right? So understand how the market works, and then you don't have to panic. So take this snapshot, put it on silver. Let me just show you. I'm going to take that whole big move there so I can show you. Copy. And let's go to silver so you guys can learn something. By the way, I should give all of you my bank account so you can send me payments. Right? Sorry. Oh, we're here, right? We're in that little piece. Let's go back to the 1 hour. We're in that little piece there, right? Paste. We have to squeeze this quite a lot because that was the daily one, right? So we have to squeeze it so it can fit on the pattern we're looking at. Let me just squeeze this in so it can fit there. And now we're going to put it on top of this. It's not even like that. I'll put this piece here because we never got the spike, but it's similar when you're getting that spike down. So I'll put it similar to this. See? I can stretch it a little more just in case this one wants to go somewhere. So the whole idea is you had this move come up here, and then you started to get that consolidation, and then you get that move, and then you get this drop. You see what they did with that drop before they took off? Watch what's happening here. You think that one could do that? What are the probabilities? What are the probabilities is if you're not in that trade, it's going to go without you? I don't want to be sleeping one day, wake up in the Asian, I sleep during Asian session, and then I wake up in the London session, and it's gone. I'm no longer in it. And that is why I kept this trade. How many of you got this trade during the year end? How many of you, let's get some honesty. How many of you got that trade during the year end? How many, give type of why if you got that trade. I'm done a real account. How many of you? I can see my traders, 1, at least 2 got it. Some got it. Watch it. You couldn't go, you guys. None of you got it, right? I got it. And my traders got it. You see, that's the difference. 2 of my traders already said yes. And I think many more of them got it. Exactly. We had an entry order. We closed the trade before the new year. We closed our trade for profit. We closed the up one. And then I think right above here, we had an entry order. So woke up after New Year, 1 week after New Year, and I'm in very good profit. Understand what market is going to do. I don't want to put an entry order there when I can get a better buy at the bottom here. See? So learn this stuff, guys. Learn it. You really have to understand what the market could do. Silver could take off, and it could take off so fast. In one single candle, it could reverse everything that it made here. One single candle could do that job. And you are not going to get into it. because you have no idea what it could do. Let's go. Gold. Oh, sorry, we're going back to where we were. We're in the pound. I think it was pound New Zealand. Yep, we actually finished with the Aussie yen. Aussie yen sideways, New Zealand yen. New Zealand yen also going sideways. You could probably get a small sell set up here, maybe for one drop here and then go back up. CAD yen. CAD yen, we were in this one. It's coming down. It already came down here, so you can look for a buy setup, right? You're looking for a running flat there and then a buy setup. I was finishing off with the pound Swiss for you. Why you understand that this thing has to come back here and then go, right? With no panic. The whole weekend I was in it. And I had a really lot of fun in the weekend. I wasn't thinking about trading. That was the last thing on my mind. I didn't even have time to do the webinar on Sunday. I was so busy with my son, right? So you can see that you don't have to worry about it. I know some traders out there are like doubting, how does he know it's going to happen? Why does he one day it's not going to go? You know, those are crazy people who don't know how the market runs. That's their talk, right? Who haven't studied this, that's what they say, right? Because they haven't studied it. They said, no, it can't be. You're imagining things, or it's random. Market cannot be organized. It's well organized. It is as organized as you are organized, right? Swiss yen, good sell setup. See? How we know it's going to happen? Make a wild guess. The buy would be very nice. The sell is a good one, but the buy, you still have a possibility for a good sell here. If they make a little flag here, drop, you get a good trade, good risk to reward. If they're done from here to here, the risk to reward is not good. Wait for the buy. Aussie Swiss. Going sideways, leave it, put an entry order at the top if you want. Remember all the Aussie trades, Aussie's going up too. I started with all the Aussie trades and then I stuck. Let's go. Aussie, New Zealand, we definitely won this. If you're in the buy, I already told my traders you should get out of it because they're going to make it the bigger consolidation. And I truly believe this consolidation is going to come back here and then go more like this. I still think this one was a B wave. So we'll still come back here and then go. If you get a flag here, you can even take a small sell. You definitely want this buy. This is too small a consolidation for it. So if you got out for break even, you think it's going to go, put an entry order gain at the top there. That is if they take off. But I think we're going to get a deeper consolidation before it goes. This is going to be a very long-term trade. So I'm not in a rush to get in, right? I don't want to get in right now and then be stuck for a long time. So there's a good chance this will come back here. Like I said, they're going to come back here and then you're probably going to get the trade. You might get more of a consolidation like that. Because you need something like this, consolidation like this, something like that, and then you get a good trade. And that would be a very good trade. And this one worked perfect like we told you it should go, right? I've shown you this pattern many times. I thought we were 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then when it breaks this low, we wanted to go. So go back to my webinars. I don't know when it was here actually. From when it was in here. And you will hear me say we wanted to come back and break the low. We wanted to come back and break the low. Then the upside will start. So is the upside starting? Well, yes, as soon as it gives us confirmation it's ready to go, we'll be in some of my traders got that entry order there. And I still can't stop beating myself up for not putting the entry order there. Because I told them to put it and I didn't put it because it was over the year end. Aussie CAD, I put it in the silver because I was pretty sure silver could go. Aussie CAD, we're right at this level here. So there's a good chance you might want to look for an upside and it has an Aussie in front. So watch this piece here to probably go back up. If it goes a little lower, I would ignore it. We're looking at that consolidation for upside. New Zealand CAD, maybe downside. It's not a good trade, just leave it. New Zealand Swiss, you don't have anything there. New Zealand Swiss short-term upside, you can see the flat. You can see the flat upside, one more. CAD Swiss probably upside, wait for a correction. Also upside, wait for a correction. Copper. Copper is coming back. Copper, you just have to wait. It's going to probably put this line, and if they break here and make a flag sell, we have some divergence, so there's a good chance they're going to make one more low. Natural gas, look for your buy setup now. You've got some consolidation here. Anytime they break this here, you want to trade to the upside. Oil actually break out. We were looking for oil to make one more, this one to come back here and then go, right? Well, they actually went up. So it's either a contracting flat, that's one, or a second option is we are making a running flat. We'll come back here and then we'll go. So you can go with both options, which means if you get a flag here, you buy, you take profit. If you get another flag, you buy, you take profit. If they make a sharp pullback, you start looking for buy again. I think that sharp pullback is likely. I don't think this is very much a contracting flat. I don't like these type of contracting flats. So I'll be more keen, and if they do this, make a move, do this, make a move, then pull back, and then go and we get a nice running flat. That would be a better pattern to trade. Right? Let's go. What else are we looking at? Same here. Possible. This one doesn't have a contracting flat, so that is why I think both of them are making running flats. S&P 500, look for a buy. I think I told you guys this. You're looking for another buy setup here again. DAX, we told you it's going to go up. It's going up, and you're looking for another buy setup. Allow this. DAX has some divergence, so just be careful. Wait for a correction and then look for a trade up. If you get a short-term sell here, might be worth it. It's going to take a while before you get that set up, but if you get it, it might be worth giving it a try. Same here, we're going up, so you can look for pullback, look for corrections, and then trade it up. And trade it to the upside. Right? Let's go. Bitcoin. I'll leave time for questions for those of you who have questions. Those of you who are on YouTube, you can come over and log on to the link. It's not too late to log on to the link to ask a question. So remember we got Bitcoin upside here, and we were looking for this to make a flag to go back up there, right? Well, instead they make a flag here and they drop. You can ignore the sell. They're getting another possible sell. Now you can sell this. It's one short move to the downside if you sell. Take profit. If you're selling this thing, you're at the bottom of a big move. Take profit. Okay, let me repeat this for those Bitcoiners who don't like to listen to what I'm saying, right? Let me repeat so you'll understand what I'm saying. When you're at 18,000, 19,000, 20,000, 21,000 here, starting from the 18,000 somewhere here. I was 18, let's go there. I was warning you to start, take profit. Go back and look at me, take profit. It went to 20,000, they were like, this guy has no idea what he's saying. It went to 21 and they thought, well, I was crazy. And one guy even typed that I sold my house at 19. He said, I sold my house and bought Bitcoin. I don't know what he's talking about. I never heard back from him. I think we wouldn't hear from him for a very long time because he's probably homeless right now, right? Selling your house to buy Bitcoin at 19,000. That's what happened to you. I know he's trolling, but if you put that as your thought process, you might eventually want to do it, right? What you think is what you will do. Thoughts become words. Words become action. Somebody said that. I don't know who. Go find out. Some president or somebody. Your thoughts become words. Your words become action. And your action becomes who you are. So don't think that way. Think the right way. That when you're at the bottom here, you want this to happen. It's not going to go right up, but I think you will get a sharp move here, and then they may come back again. So we're looking for a move that might be the equivalent of this. I still think this thing could be a big running flat going out there. So look for a big move, and then we will see what happens. Right? The big correction is coming. Right? And Wizam, I think that Wasim, I think that time you wasn't even in my trading room at that time, right? Now you are, but that time I don't think you were there when we were talking about that big correction. A lot of people were with us. So listen, learn. This is how I know it was going to go, because it cannot go there and then a big correction is coming. And now they want to tell you that Bitcoin is going to fall. Hey, it's going to 1,000. It's going to go to 1,000 very soon. So be careful. Why be careful? Now you want to buy the sucker if you're looking for a buy. Wait for a buy setup and get in. Because now it's going to go up. They want you to sell every single Bitcoin you have now, if you still have any, which I'm surprised if you do. If you still have any, they want you to sell it so that they can take it for you for nothing and then get you to buy that same Bitcoin back at 10,000 and then drop it again. Ethereum, same thing. Correction upside. The big moves are done, so I don't know how else to tell you. Look for buy setup. Just look for buy setups. Keep looking for buy setup because they're all at lows. If you don't get a buy setup, ignore it. The book said that expanding flats are common. Running flats are very rare. Well, if you follow the book, you'll probably get yourself in trouble because expanding flats are very rare. Running flats are very common. The first you will find is regular flats, running flats. You might even find more contracting flats than expanding flats, right? And the book also said that the C wave has to be 5 waves. Don't let me show you the amount of C waves I have with 3 waves on them. Well, we call them C waves, right? Because of Elliott labeling. Normally, we don't label them C wave. In our labeling, we don't label them C wave. But just for respect, we'll say it's an ABC. This C wave very often is not even, it's 3 waves most time, not 5. That's not even an argument I'm going to get in with them, because if that argument starts, we will go into history and prove that we are correct. Right? We can easily do that. You can just go back and check the chart. You can look at the charts and you'll see. So I don't get into argument with anybody over the wave, because what I'm using is my own rules. They're not Elliott wave rules. That is why I said I created that terminology, wave analysis. Everybody before that was Elliott wave theory. Everybody was Elliott waver. Nobody said wave analysis, but they said Elliott waver, right? Because that was popular. If you were learning Elliott wave, you were an Elliott waver. So after I changed the rules and I changed it to what I was doing, I couldn't call myself an Elliott waver, because by rule, I'm not. So I developed my own rules, my own principles, and we call it just wave analysis. I don't think I have so big ego to use my name under it. My ego is a little smaller than that. So I don't want to give it my name, because I didn't think that my input is that word, right? Elliott input is very great. If he didn't do that work, we wouldn't be here today. He did quite a lot to put us where we are here today. That doesn't mean we have to stop. That means we have to continue the work, develop it, and make it better. I heard even they're finding new patterns now. A lot of Elliott wavers have started to find, before I started finding new patterns, it was an argument. If you prove to anybody that there was a different pattern, they will go on you, they will come down on you. Oh my God, who you think you are to find a new pattern? And then we start saying, no, we have new patterns in the chart. The patterns have changed, they've developed, they're variated, right? Even of a regular flat, you can find about 6 variations, right? It will still be by rule a regular flat, but it varies. Running flats, I'm not even going to go there, because some of the running flats we identified, nobody identified those. We call them running flat because of respect to Elliott. He identified the rules for running flat, and they fit the rules, we stick to them as running flats. We just call them extended running flats, right? That's it. We just give it a word to classify what it is, basically. But now everybody's finding new patterns. They're like, oh yeah, this is a new pattern. Like, okay, good, you're learning at least. That's the whole point. I want to spread the word for people to learn. So if they're learning, I'm happy. At least they're learning. They're not sticking to those old principles and rules and what they read in the book. Everybody can read the book. You have to learn to apply it properly. Let's go. I think that's about it. So we can take some questions. If you guys have any questions, we have some time. But before we start, don't forget, let me just remind all of you, because I'm getting a lot of message. Send me message only on Skype. Right? Don't send me messages on TradingView. I got like 50 messages on TradingView after the 1 week live trading, thanking me for it, but I can't reply to you. I hardly see those messages. So send me message only on Skype. And if you're interested in the course, we're starting a course on the 18th of February. It's a training course. It's going to be 6 weeks long. That's how long our training course is. 6 weeks is very in-depth. It's very intensive. It's daily, 1-2 hours daily. Your trade, you get active trading, which means you become presenter and you share your charts to show everybody. That is how active it is, right? It's very active training. So if you want to join it, send me a Skype message. Let me type my Skype here for you guys. MANGAL 457. Send me a message. I'll send you all the details. Now, if you don't have good financial background, which means if you have only a $1,000, $2,000 account, don't wait. Don't even trade live. Trade demo until you learn. You will not be accepted in the course, because the course is going to cost you more than that. If you have you can pay for the course and you have an extra $5,000 to have an account to start trading with and learn with, great, you're welcome, right? We have rules. You have to have at least 1 year experience. If you're new, don't buy anything. Don't buy my course. Don't buy any course if you don't have a year experience, because you are not ready to become a pro trader. You're still a novice. You're still learning. So you can learn from all the free stuff I do, from the other free stuff that everybody does. If you're newbie, take as much time as you can and learn everything you can learn. Learn everything. You're not going to use them. Learn what is support and resistance. Learn about it. Learn about pin bars. Learn about everything you can learn about. Most of it you will never use in your trading, but you need to know it. It's knowledge. You need to know what it is. So when we come here and we set support and resistance doesn't work, you know what that is, right? So can I tell what happened to all trades I did last week? Where were you when we were showing the trades live? You could watch the recording. We already spoke about that. Already done, yes. Thank you. Somebody just reminded me. You have to come in. By the way, the euro trade is, the euro buy sell is going very good, right? As you can see. We're going to, oops, sorry. We're going to take more trades. I'm going to, oh, this is the week, start of the week only. So we're going to get, if you guys want, maybe we could repeat that one more week, live trading. But we'll have to do that before my course start, because when my course starts, we will have no time for that, right? So let's see. Let me look at the dates and I'll tell you if we can do it. Today's the 21st. Next week, definitely I want some rest, so we're not going to do it. From the 4th to the 8th of February. Give me a yes if that would be okay for you. From the 4th to the 8th of February. I saw 3 years, so that means it's a no, right? Okay, great. So I'll assume we can do it. So I'll plan one for the 4th to the 8th of February, and we'll go back with 1 week of live sessions. Because when I start my course, I wouldn't have time to do this for a while. So you guys are going to see me rarely. No problem. We can go and do it. So this will be the new standard for everybody who is selling anything out there. If they're selling signals, you can ask them. You can say, hey, do you guys have an account, live account? You want to show us, do a 1 week live trading and show us on the live account, not on the demo account, not on, and preferably if the account has value. Don't bring a $1,000, $2,000 account. That is kind of scamish. Everybody can do that, right? You want to see that the trader is serious in the size of the account he's trading. If he's trading a 1,000 account, even my traders don't trade $1,000 account. I don't allow them to trade like that. It's a waste of time. YouTube can't vote, but I'll make an assumption they want a yes, right? For the YouTubers. How many people on YouTube there right now? Let's see if we can find a trade to close today, right? Let me see if I can find a trade for you guys, a very good trade that I would like to take today, probably even take today to close the day for you guys, right? 214. You guys should try to use the link. The link can allow up to 500 people. We only fill the link during the live trading sessions. So we can take up to 500 people and use the link to come in, right? The link is always on my Facebook page. Somebody give them my Facebook page there. And share it with your friends. It's going to be much easier for you. So let's see if we can find a trade. Let me scan all my charts I have, and then I'll look at it if there's anything I would like to trade today that might be still of value. Euro, I'm already in. Pound doesn't have anything. Euro, dollar yen. I'll show you dollar yen. It's a short trade, so if you get it today, and it's possible you can get it today if it happens, this would be a good trade. If I get this trade today, I'm going to go for it. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for this. One, correction. You can put an entry order, you can wait for your setup and sell. One, I want to see this correction do that, drop, and I will go for this trade if I get it, right? So that is the trade I'm looking for. Euro pound probably. I think they're all euro based. Let me see the euro pound. What is the euro pound trade? That euro yen one looks most of a dollar yen trade. This dollar yen is going to go. So you probably look at euro yen if euro goes down. If euro is going down and yen is going down, you want to look at the euro yen. Euro yen right now, like I said, is going sideways. So even if it is going to come down, we expect this to come down. Remember I said you got to be careful, but we don't have a setup here for to trade, right? You can go with this, but I don't like this setup. It's not a very strong setup, right? It's going sideways. There are reasons why that is not a good setup. So you can wait for it, right? Euro pound, somebody said, let's see if we have a trade in the euro pound. Yes, you have a setup here in the euro pound. You just have to wait. You don't have the trade right now, right? You could probably wait for an hour or two more, and they'll probably consolidate here. And if they do that, you get a very nice trade down there. Actually, here is a good example. See that? You drop there, you can get that. So, and they're doing it, they did that way lower. If they're doing it here now, right, when they break, if they do that here, perfect for you, right? So that is a trade you can get. The US pound one is a little tricky. You can go for it, but it's a little tricky. It's not that easy to get. I wouldn't advise. I'm looking for the safest trade for you guys, right? So the safest possible trade I can find for you. There are many trade setups that you can trade, but not so good for you. I would not, I personally don't trade gold, and I wouldn't advise people with small account to trade gold, right? I think it's going to go back up, but I don't think so. If you want to trade something, trade silver, right? So I wouldn't advise you trade gold in a small account. Go for silver if you want, right? Silver is like, You could buy silver anytime. You guys want me to buy an next 10K silver for you? I have no problem doing that, right? So silver is a good one. If it makes a good flag, if it comes up here and make a flag, if silver comes here and make a flag here tomorrow or anytime this week, I'm adding more trades to that. I think all of you know how to do that, right? I don't have to tell you how to do that. So let's see. Let's just give it some time to work out, right? Thank you for coming, guys. We don't have a trade. It will take too long to happen. I don't want to keep the YouTube video running for so long. So thank all of you for coming. Thank you again for your support during the 1 week live session. If we're going to do another week live session, I'll put it out earlier. I'll put the link out about 2 weeks earlier so you guys will have enough time to share it. Remember, we can have thousands. There are actually 9 million retail traders out there who are suffering and needs help, right? So it is up to you guys to get that message to them. I'm trying to set it as all over as I can. I have it on YouTube, I have it on Twitter, I have it on Facebook, and I have it on LinkedIn. I have it in a number of groups on LinkedIn, number of groups in Facebook. So you can spread it wherever you know there's a nice group and it's allowed for you to post it. Spread the link and let's inform people. Let them see, right? So you will get to see the account again by the 4th of February. See what it's doing. And probably, if I'm in the mood, we can make some very, very nice good trades even earlier. So let's see, right? Every week we can do a little trading session after the weekly outlook. So everybody take care. If everybody comes in with the link next week, we could close the YouTube video and probably do some trading. So take care, everybody. Glad to see you here. Have a wonderful week ahead of you, successful week ahead of you, and I will see all of you next week. Take care and thank you for coming. Bye-bye.